For this segment, I am joined by Maggie Kruse from Jordan Winery. She is going to tell us a little bit about what makes Jordan Chardonnay so special, and maybe a little bit about the winery as it relates to white wine production. So, Maggie, tell us about the Chardonnay.
Jordan Winery, like I said, is family owned, and we've been incredibly French inspired since our inception in 1972. That's when we were founded, and their first vintage was in 1976 with our Cabernet. And then in 1980, they decided that they were going to expand the portfolio drastically and start making a Chardonnay. So what's one thing that we're kind of specialized in, we make one Chard and one Cab.
Yeah.
So our style has evolved over the last few decades, but really what we focus on is being incredibly Burgundian in style. So when a lot of people have our wines, they're quite surprised. A California Chardonnay, they're expecting a little bit more butter, a little bit more oak, but that is definitely not our style. All of our fruit comes in the Russian River Valley, which is perfect for growing Chardonnay. It's really cool mornings and cool nights, and you get nice warm weather in the afternoon. So it's perfect for the temperamental Chardonnay grape. And all of our vineyards are located very close to the Russian River. So you're getting those beautiful alluvial soils that is great for drainability and just making a Burgundian style of Chardonnay. All of our fruit is picked at night, and that's really so that the fruit is really fresh and cold, because we really want to lock in those fresh fruit characters. We like that green apple, that, nice bright acidity. And so all of our fruit is picked about 10 o'clock at night, and we're getting our first load of fruit about 1 a.m. So we're crushing all night long. It's pretty fun. And the fruit comes in, it's beautiful and cold and fresh and crisp, and we want to lock in those flavors. So we start fermentation the next day and kind of get that in so we can really lock those beautiful citrus characters in. And then we do a combination of French oak fermentation and stainless steel oak, or stainless steel tank fermentation. So we don't really want a nice balanced oak program. We don't want to overpower. And as far as malolactic fermentation, we don't want that really buttery character. We do just a small percentage. It's different every year, but I'd say on range, it's anywhere from 10 to 25%. And it's really just about structure.
Right.
It's just trying to kind of fill out that midway and not make it too intense, and just kind of balance out the wine. And then it's usually about 6 months in oak and stainless steel, and then we're bottling, and about 8 months of bottle aging, and then it's released.
Right. So I think everything you just said kind of goes to a fresh. You said it, the Burgundian style, which maybe a lot of my folks in our restaurants haven't had the opportunity to taste a lot of Burgundy, but basically a little bit more cleaner, elegant. Not heavily oaked or buttery kind of style of Chardonnay versus what, like you said, you might typically expect from California, which has a little bit more of that fuller style. So key points, I think, with the Chardonnay is that it comes from the Russian River Valley, which is a cooler climate. And the winery, of course, is located in Alexander Valley, which is warmer.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys are purposely working with these vineyards in a cooler area to maintain some higher levels of acidity, that freshness, that refreshing quality in the wine. And they're not bearing it under oak, which is great. So it makes it pretty pleasant to drink. Do you have any favorite things that you like to maybe drink and eat Jordan Chardonnay with? Food pairings?
With our low alcohol and, again, bright acidity, our Chardonnays actually age really nicely. So if I'm having a Chardonnay that's got a few years of age on it, I love it with, our chef here does like a nice hamachi crudo. It's even great with oysters. I mean, it's not the most natural choice to do Chardonnay, but it really holds up. It's the bright acidity that really kind of keeps that fresh. But it can hold up to, a piece of pork or duck, or even a little bit heavier kind of risotto style. It's really acidity that will cut through any food or support it. It goes with a lot of different cuisines.
Yeah, that's great, because in our group we do have a lot of cuisines, from steakhouses to seafood restaurants and Italian and whatnot. So a lot of opportunities to sell a great Chardonnay like Jordan Chardonnay. So I think just a couple key points to remember: cool climate, not heavily oaked, refreshing style of Chardonnay, well balanced, and it's got the Jordan label on it, which is always helpful. Personally, I try not to age Jordan Chardonnay too much, because I want to sell through it and buy more. So I don't really have a lot of aged Chardonnay on our list, which I think you guys probably like too, from a selling point of view. But
for sure.
yeah, we do sell through it, so I appreciate it. All right, thanks very much for joining me, and appreciate the Jordan Chardonnay talk.
Thank you, Brian. Take care.
Thanks.